Hi guys. Today we're continuing with the quadratic formula. With the quadratic formula, there are 4 different scenarios of what your answer might look like. Yesterday, we learned a scenario where your answer was 2 numbers that were either whole numbers or fractions. Today, we'll be learning a new scenario. Now, we're going to continue with the quadratic formula, which is what yesterday's videos were on. Since this is a continuation and we've already done a couple examples, I'm only going to have one example for you today. The process is the same. So the process of plugging into the quadratic formula and solving from the quadratic formula is the same as what we were doing yesterday. The only thing that's a little bit different is what our final answer is going to look like. So let's go ahead and start. With this problem, it's already in standard form. Now we have a different variable for this problem, but that doesn't matter. That just means in this problem, I'll be solving for y instead of solving for x. Since it's already in standard form, I can identify my a, my b, and my c. My a is the number in front of the y squared. Now there's no number in front of the y squared, but that's okay. That just means that there's an invisible 1 there. So in this problem, my a is 1, my b is -6, and my c is 9. Now that I know all of my numbers, I can plug them into the quadratic formula. I like to think in my head, and I'm going to say out loud so you guys can hear what I'm thinking. But I like to think in my head, either the story or the song for plugging in my numbers. So I think let's do the song today. So instead of x equals, it's y equals. Y is equal to -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Notice again on this one, and we did one like this yesterday, the negative from the song is on the outside of the parentheses, and then my b was also negative, so I have a double negative right here. And on my next step, I will simplify that to a positive. Also, when your b is negative, make sure that you surround it with parentheses inside of the square root, so that when you square it, you are squaring -6, and it will turn into a positive 36. -6 times -6 is positive 36. Over here, I'll be doing 4 times 1 times 9, and I'm going to keep that subtraction sign in the middle. So on my next step, underneath my radical, I should have 2 numbers with a subtraction sign between them. And then on my next step, I will also be multiplying the 2 times the 1 on the bottom. So again, just to recap, the double negative turned into a positive. -6 squared is positive 36. And if you're typing it on your calculator and just blindly trusting what your calculator is doing, it's really important that you type it in exactly how I have it written on the screen. If you forget the parentheses, your calculator will give you the wrong answer. 4 times 1 times 9 is also 36. And 2 times 1 is 2. Now I can't do anything with the 6 and the 2, so don't even try. Right now I'm really focusing on the square root symbol. Can I get that to get smaller? So 36 minus 36 is 0. And I do know the square root of 0. The square root of 0 is 0. Now, yesterday we learned at this point in time that you would split this into 2 separate problems, one with an adding sign and one with a subtracting sign. For today's purposes, though, we're not going to do that because, well, let me take that back. You can do that, but you're going to get the same answer for both of them. 6 plus 0 is 6, and 6 minus 0 is also 6. So you're just going to end up with one answer on this problem, and it's 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Now, we talked about this on the factoring video. We said, all of these questions are really supposed to have 2 answers, but this one only has 1, and it's because we got the same answer twice. When you get the same answer twice, you only write it once, and you follow it with the letters DR, which mean double root. So my final answer for this question is the number 3, and it is a double root. On your homework tonight, there will be a mixture of problems that have 2 different answers, and problems that have the same answer twice, which actually results in just that one answer. So be on the lookout for those different types of problems. Next week, we will learn the other two types of answers that you can get from the quadratic formula. But for now, I'll see you later.